Hello and welcome to today's broadcast of the IHSLA semifinals, the first semifinal today on Hamilton County TV. This is presented by Logan Street Signs and Banners, celebrating over 25 years of business. I'm here, Byron Stankus, along with longtime coach and vice president of the Indiana High School Lacrosse Association, Matt McEnroe. Matt, looks like we've got a really good game today here against the number 1 Carmel Greyhounds facing the number 4 Culver Eagles.
Absolutely excited to see both these teams get to this semifinal game. Hope to see a great lacrosse game this afternoon or this evening.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we're looking forward to a really good game, especially because in the regular season, these two met on May 3rd, where the number 4 team actually upset the number 1 team 17-15 up at Culver. So another close game, and it looks like we are looking forward to a really close game and a real close match this time. We are going to get ready here as the teams line up to do the national anthem. So when they start playing the national anthem, we will take a break and honor the country while we do that. But real quickly, we'd like to thank Logan Street Signs and Banners, Noblesville Trophies, and the Wofford Theater, which is doing outdoor events this year in Central Indiana. So it'll be interesting.
Absolutely.
So looking forward to this matchup. The Greyhounds, number 1 team, with a state record of 11-1 in state. They were 13-6 overall. And the in-state Culver Eagles, 12-1. So it'll be a really good matchup for us, and we're looking forward to real high scoring.
Yeah, two first-year head coaches bringing their teams and leading them into IU Health Field here on the campus of Hamilton Southeastern High School. Head coach for Carmel Greyhounds, Jack Meacham, as well as first-year head coach of the Culver Military Academy Eagles, Kirk Brown. 2 coaches who've done an excellent job in their first years in their respective programs.
It's a tribute to the programs that are underneath them for these guys to walk in there with this much talent, and then it's a tribute to them to have it pay off and get themselves here to the semifinal game.
Absolutely, in-state records for both, as you mentioned, only a single loss. That's really good stuff. So we're in for a treat tonight.
Well, the interesting thing about this semifinal game, and we're going to actually repeat this in the other semifinal game, is that the lower seed Culver actually is the team that defeated the upper seed number 1 Carmel Greyhounds.
That's a good point.
So that's going to be interesting. And then in later tonight's game with the number 3 HSE Royals actually beat the number 2 Cathedral team. So it's a unique situation where the top 2 ranked teams, their losses in the regular season actually are to the 2 teams below them.
Yes.
So we are also listening to the background as they're making the starting lining of announcements. One of the interesting things that we were talking to Jack Meacham, coach of the Greyhounds, earlier today, and he says that he's going to be starting midfielder Nick George at attack.
Oh, yes. A little bit of a change-up. We were not expecting that, but we'll see how that works out for him. Sophomore Nick George will be starting in the place of Asher Mendel, who's a junior.
Yeah, that Carmel attack with
number 9.
And Mendel has been pretty potent, so he must see something special in the athlete of George to move him to start attack here for this playoff game. I think that's going to be interesting. And I think the other interesting thing to look at on the other side of the field is Alec Vaccaro, the freshman face-off wizard. He's 84% on the season, and he's going to look to control the tempo of the game. So
face-off's always an important part of the game of lacrosse. It gives the team possession. If he continues with a percentage in the 80s, it's going to be tough for any team that they go up against.
Oh, absolutely. And I was talking with Coach Meacham earlier before the game, and we were talking about the previous matchup. And with that previous matchup, they had trouble, Carmel did, getting possessions. And when they did get possessions, they did well with them. But they only had 5 possessions where they didn't score. So that just shows you when you score 15 goals on the 20 possessions, that's a big deal. But It looks like everybody's rising for the national anthem here. So we're going to take a pause and honor our country. Thank you, and we're back. It's Byron Stankus here in the booth with Matt McEnroe, the Vice President of the IHSLA and a longtime coach. We're getting ready for that #1 Greyhound Carmel team and the Culver Military Academy Eagles to prepare to face off. The teams are huddling up now. Coaches are giving their last bits of advice and bits of coaching to stir their kids and get them ready to go. And the referees are walking out to the field here to get the field set and ready to play. Our referees today are going to be John McGrath, Jim Quirk, and Ken Tomazawa, with Dan Niederberger doing the bench official to make sure there's a clean bench and a clean sidelines in a playoff game, which I think is always good. Matt, so looking at we were just finishing up talking about Alex Vaccaro. So with him, with that kind of winning percentage, what does that do for a Culver team and their defense?
If we look at Culver and their defense and their goalie, their freshman goalie, Chris Roth, interesting stat that was provided to us by Culver. In regards to that, Roth has only seen 8.5 shots on goal per game this season. That is an incredible stat where you can imagine that a team defense is only allowing 8.5 shots on cage per game in a season. That's incredible. That means their goalie's not seeing a lot of shots. He has tallied 67 saves this season in a season where they played 15 games. That's an incredible defensive stat.
I know when you contrast that with Carmel's goalie Ben Holzlander, he has 113 saves at a 49% save percentage. So when you contrast that, he's seeing almost twice as many shots per game on goal. That's not shots that miss as well. So that just shows you how important that face-off is. So what do you think that Carmel can do to kind of level the playing field at the face-off X?
Well, I think you're going to look at their captains, and if we look at number 7, senior captain Chad Kataka, he's an All-American, first-team All-State IHSLA.
Two-time All-American?
Two-time All-American,
yeah,
and definitely a team leader at attack. He's their leading scorer with 71 points this season. Definitely they're going to be looking to him to shoulder some of that load and get some shots on cage. In addition to that, their senior captain, number 8, Eli Null, at midfield, who's a second-team All-State Award winner this year. He is their emotional leader. He's going to provide that little bit of emotion in just as the game begins and throughout the game, making sure their players are up and ready to play.
It looks like what they're doing here is they're bringing Quigley out. Carmel's got Quigley as a long stick midi to go against Bacher. That Michael Bacher on the near side wing here is the captain of the Culver team, and he also is an All-American heading off to Harvard. So he's going to be attending Harvard, that Michael Bacher, number 2, but he's going to be playing football for them, not lacrosse. So that's interesting to see how this goes down. So on the face-off, and we are underway. And there's that win, as we talked about, Alex Vaccaro. But look at the swarming defense.
And the strength to pick up that ball one-handed. Not necessarily technically sound, but strength in that ground ball right there.
He got that ground ball, and Carmel clearly swarmed him there. So we've got number 2, Bacher, with the ball. He's moving it over here to number 8, Zahner. They're going to set up their offense as they work that around. Stevens comes up for the ball, bobbles it a little bit. Stevens, the leading scorer here for the Culver Eagles.
Backside is open.
And there it is, that backside pass. I think that was Bauer with that pass. Oh, I'm sorry, that was Jackson Gray overthrowing the ball. So Carmel's going to clear the ball here. They got it in the hands of their defensive midi, Mark Allen, clearing the ball through here, through traffic.
Nifty little clear.
He's going to touch up, and Carmel will set up there for a set on offense. So good defensive stand. Good defensive stand for the Greyhounds. We're going to see how the defense holds up here for the Eagles as Carmel sets in with their offense and starts to work through here, working the ball around.
Yeah, so we just saw Asher Mendel sub through midfield, playing a little bit of midfield now. So we'll see how that goes throughout the rest of the game. But it looks like Asher Mendel is going to see a little bit of midfield this game.
Yeah, they got Jack Joliet and Jordan Walker there at the midfield. And I think what they're trying to do is there's Asher Mendel with a shot, as you mentioned. I think what they're trying to do is get Asher against the short stick here. So that's an interesting strategy that they're pulling off here. So bringing it in from behind the goal. That's going to be Sprates.
A little bit of a late substitution.
Wow, they nobody
Good
picked
save.
him up.
Nobody picked. Yeah.
Yeah, Roth with a save is going to outlet that ball. He's outletting it to the Seaver, clearing midi. He'll run upfield, run into a little traffic here. Looks like he gets through pretty clean. So, touch up the box here, and Culver's going to settle up their offense. A little bit of pressure here from Carmel. So, Carmel's being relentless here, just sticking it to him. Otis on the takeaway.
Absolutely.
Good pressure. Chance it to Kataka, and Kataka comes down. Kataka to Mendel. Mendel on the side. So
number 17, Cooper Otis, long stick midfielder with that takeaway.
Yeah, that was great pressure. He sustained that pressure and a little bit of help from Jordan Walker there. It looks like Eli Knoll now with the shot. Boom, goal.
Strong shot.
Real strong shot. Dodged down the alley. He was able to gain the middle there. So Eli Knoll. That's a really good play for him. I think that was a little bit of a breakdown defensively. What did you see there?
He definitely beat his man topside there. Got a great angle. Just a strong shot. High to low. Hard for a goalie to save, especially when there's no one contesting the shot.
So it's really interesting. We just saw the long stick midi Otis take that ball away in order to get that offense to the Carmel. But they're running Quigley, Gabe Quigley on the wing here on the near side. So I wonder if they're just trying to keep fresh legs on the field so they can try to neutralize this Vaccaro. So Vaccaro at the face-off X, battling there with
Great
Allen.
face-off.
So that was Eric Allen on the face-off. Actually, there are two Allens on the field. There'll be number 10 and number 20. They are brothers, Eric and Mark. See, Mark's still on the field playing defensive midi as Eric ran off, got a substitution. Their father is also the JV coach as well as helps out as an assistant there, Keith. So Keith's one of the assistant coaches over there helping them out. Culver here, driving down here. That's going to be Gray, the pass back up top to Bacher. Bacher's big and strong. Looks,
he is.
Trying to drive through here. Look at that shot. That's an offhanded shot that he took real hard there.
Nice left-hand shot.
So
Jump
Culver's
shot.
Looks like they're going to start with Leahy at X here. Leahy at X is going to start with the ball for the Eagles. Good hard. Ooh, what a great takeaway. Great takeaway from Huntington.
Great takeaway, and they needed that because there didn't look like there was going to be a slide coming.
Yeah, but Huntington made a good check. Culver
Yes.
recovers the ball, and now Culver down Zahner trying to find some room. Gets that shot off. There you go with Holtzlander with the save. And a good outlet pass.
And
There's
they're
that Mark
pushing.
Allen, as we talked about before. Carmel looks like they're trying to play at a pretty good pace here. Touch up the box. Nothing there, so they're going to get some fresh substitutions in. And Mark Allen's going to pass that up here to Joliet. And
Byron keeps
Joliet
talking
Knoll.
about touching up or getting a touch in the box. Once the ball passes midfield, you got 10 seconds to get a touch. The ball carrier has 10 seconds to get a touch within that attack zone.
And the attack zone is right at the 30-yard line there. As we see,
Our lines are in red today.
See Knoll take it there. It looks like they've settled down and have Asher Mendel settling at attack. And here comes a good dodge shot wide. Jack Joliet there with the take. Carmel's being really aggressive here, and we got a substitution coming through. They're bringing in Jordan Walker coming down through the midfield. Carmel's being really aggressive on the offense. I think they want to take every chance they can in the offensive zone here.
Just a few seconds ago, that was a really smart play by Bacher to get off the field as Carmel was substituting. Get some fresh legs out there.
Yeah, I think that's the third shot we've seen in this offensive set there from Mendel over here, and we're going to get a dodge from the X. Sprates take a shot, that's wide. So looks to me like Carmel's hasn't seen a shot they don't like taking, so putting the pressure on that Carmel defense.
Definitely.
Culver defense, excuse me. Asher Mendel here driving from behind. Back out to Sprates who drops it. Culver has settled into his zone defense, it looks like to me. And,
that's what I was just noticing.
I think they're kind of allowing these dodges to run into traffic here. And what a great move.
Side.
Wow, Jack Joliet again with another good move. Good hard bounce shot went over the goal, but he was able to split the seam in that zone. So now he's setting picks. That's going to be Mendel bringing it up. Mendel looking for some help here. He's going to find that there, and Joliet's going to skip that up top, and that's Knoll coming down. Boy, the Z dodging there is dodging in and pulling out. Really good defense here.
Oh, a little bit of a takeaway there. They were able to get the ball back.
Now that's Fike. Fike long stick midi there, number 32. Really good play. But you see, Carmel just seems to be taking shots. I think Culver wants them to take those shots from the outside as they run this. Looks like box in one zone. A little pressure on ball. So here comes Kataka, the All-American. Two-time All-American Chad Kataka is going to be going on to Lehigh. Oh, overthrows the ball. That's a tough turnover for them. So it looks like we're going to get the...
So that round, Hitchcock, the close defenseman, won that round.
Yeah, and Foster White here is going to clear the ball for Culver coming up the field. Looks like he's going to make that clear successful. Ooh, Mark Allen with a jump there, trying to make that quick takeaway. But Culver's going to settle up here, and they're going to start working on their offense. We are 1-0 with 6 minutes remaining in the first quarter here. Look at Carmel defense just pushing, extending out, working really hard. Boom, there's a shot. Nice shot by Topher Bauer. Topher Bauer one-on-one from X. Gains the top side, gets to the island, turns on the inside roll, and gets a good shot. A good overhand shot.
Nice shot. I wonder if the goalie, Holtzlander, even saw that.
I don't know, but it didn't look like he reacted well. I think he came right off of that roll dodge and was able to do that. I think we're going to be able to take a look at this on a replay here. So here it comes. There he is, Topher, driving all the way top. He gets enough room there, and as he turns, he was able to shoot through the slide there. Wow, that was good. You see, Huntington coming through on the slide, number 33. He was able to shoot right through on that. There's no way the goalie saw that. So back to the face-off X with a 1-1 game. I think this is the game we thought we'd have so far.
Absolutely.
So some good lacrosse, a lot of shots. And Vaccaro winning another face-off, which is also something we expected to see today.
His third straight.
So here goes Eric Allen trying to play defense on him, and his brother comes over and starts beating him. They're going to double team him at the corner.
Good
really
double
smart
team.
Play, really great double team. Oh, and he breaks through the double team. And looks like we got that infraction you were just talking about. They did not get it inside the offensive box within 10 seconds there. That was excellent pressure as Mark Allen here clears the ball right up to Joliet. So Joliet's going to actually get a touch right away and gets in, turns the corner, switches, cross-handed shot. Tries to get that on goal.
Canadian left.
Yeah, that Canadian left, that cross-handed shot. Now Chris Roth makes the save. And it's going to be Culver with the clear. Culver successfully gets that clear this time. Well, let's see. Yes, they finally touched the box there.
Officials are letting them play. There was a little bit of contact there. Could have gone one way or the other in the judgment of the official.
On the inside roll. Boy, that thing bounced over. I'm not sure how hard he had to throw that into the ground to get it over there, but that's a really good play. And we are going to have a play-on situation there. That was a loose ball push by Carmel. So that ball is going to be awarded to Culver. So I think Leahy's going to start with the ball at the goal line extended here, right about the 10.
I'd like to see Culver just pick up that ball and start moving just a little bit quicker, get a quick whistle, start using it, taking advantage of that quick whistle.
Well, I think Culver's got a lot of underclassmen here with freshmen and sophomores in there. So they only running about 5 seniors. So they've got a very young team. They filter a lot of guys up to their prep team. So they've got a really young team, so you're not going to necessarily see that. What a feed. What a feed from Bacher. Bacher gets the dodge, draws the slide, feeds inside to Jackson Gray. Jackson Gray finishes from about 6 yards out. There's just nothing that Holtzlander could do with that. What a great play. I mean, that's one of those guys. You've got the All-American captain Bacher here. We're going to look at this replay, but I think you see All-American Bacher here. He dodges and draws the attention of the defense when the slide comes and then passes that off to Gray. Gray with a little dip move and then fires that top shelf goal.
Yep, that play starts with Bacher.
And I think that's a play there that Bacher really didn't do a whole lot, but I think the fact that he's a big All-American that they were concerned about and started sliding early. Got a loose ball scrum here. This is what Carmel wants on their faceoffs, isn't it?
Absolutely, it is what Carmel wants. And as you can see, they come up with possession.
And we got a timeout by Carmel. So that was a possession timeout right there.
Absolutely.
So we were talking about how Alec Vaccaro is such a great face-off guy, and it's clearly what the plan here is to send their athletes. Carmel wants to send their athletes. They want Eric Allen there to tie up Vaccaro and make that a ground ball for as long as possible. And they want to be able to have their athletes come in there like Quigley did and pick up that ground ball. So clearly that's their game plan.
And just a little mix-up with Vaccaro. He actually won the face-off. He had an opportunity, scooped it up, just kind of ran over the ball. So
he won the draw, but he didn't actually win the
exactly
face-off. Correct.
Exactly.
So we're looking at the stats here. Our stats are being provided for us by Heritage Christian coach Steve Kinney. So he's helping us out here. But looks like the shots are 7-4 in favor of Carmel, which just shows you that the premium is on the quality chances by Culver here. So it looks like we're coming out of that timeout now, and Carmel's possession timeout. They're going to start that ball with Jack Joliet here up the top by where the 30-yard line is at the top of the box. They did not touch the box, so there is a new 10-second start, but it looks like he'll take one step and touch the box here to start it up.
Yeah. And there you go.
But that's important as Carmel starts to work the ball around. And it looks like they put Kataka into the crease, so I think they're going to try to pop him off here, which they just do, and look for this shot. I think they call that straight out of timeout.
Right.
Yeah, bury Kataka inside, send someone to cutter, have Kataka pop off and see if he can get a quick shot. And he does, shoots high.
4 minutes in the quarter now.
Carmel regains possession after the shot. The closest player to the ball when it goes out of bounds is awarded possession. So Carmel can retain possession as long as they keep a guy near the ball when it goes out, which is really common. Kataka with a shot from up top. Roth eats that up.
Low to low.
Roth's going to outlet this ball. He's looking for a short stick. He finds him. He finds Foster White here. Foster White didn't want any more of that ride from Sprates, so he's going to pass that across, and they're going to get the clear here. So Culver gets the clear in the hands of Zahner.
Oh.
Zahner to Bacher. Bacher bobbles that ball. Maintains possession. The swarming defense of Carmel. And Bacher comes out with it again. Oh, he doesn't. He trips his own guy.
Oh, that's
Look
unfortunate.
at that. Sprates with the ball. Sprates with the ball on the run. Looks like it's 3-on-1. Passes it off to Mendel. Mendel makes the hitch move, turns the corner, takes a shot. Goal.
Nice shot.
What an excellent play by Asher Mendel. And the flag goes down at the end of that play. Wow, that is a swarmy, relentless defense. Croz's transition here.
I'm not sure I saw what happened to Mendel.
Here comes the replay. We're going to take a look at Sprates comes down the field, ashes that off to Mendel. Mendel steps in and makes the turn around the corner, takes the shot. Now, it looks like just an awkward hit there from Mendel.
Yeah, and the hit wasn't necessarily needed. It was after the shot was out of his stick.
Yeah,
so.
I'm not so sure it was a hit intended to knock
No,
the guy
not at
out.
all.
Looked a lot like he just ran into them.
Exactly.
So it looks like
good news is he's walking off.
So the referees are going to assess that penalty on Fike. Fike is going to get an unnecessary roughness call here. So it's going to be a Carmel. Since that was after the play, I don't believe there's a face-off as well.
Correct.
So Asher Mendel ties the game at 2-2 and gets a penalty after the shot against him. So Carmel will be a man up. They're going to go 6-on-5 defensively against the Culver Eagles here. So this is kind of a big call, frankly. So Knoll's going to start with the ball. We've got Knoll Joliet. Got number 14, Marcus Prine, the sophomore attackman in place of Asher Mendel here for the man up. And it looks like guys are running off the field here. I'm not sure exactly what's happened.
Officials are standing at the face-off, X.
Oh,
looks like we're going to have a face-off.
Looks like we are going to have a face-off. Well, that's a big win there for
for
Culver there to even have a chance at gaining possession here.
So now that Culver is down one man, they are to take this face-off in a 3v2 disadvantage right now.
That's right. They're going to have their long stick midi in there. Looks like a Seaver on the far side, which is going to allow Quigley here on the near side and White for Carmel to be all alone. So if Eric Allen can tie up the Vaccaro and not let them win it clean, I think it's going to be a huge advantage for Carmel. Of course, they've got an extra man, so that's why that's going to happen. And in behind the play, we had Marcus Prine come out and Nick George sub in to attack. And Vaccaro wins it, even against the 3-on-2.
Right.
But it's that relentless defense and a timeout call.
Impressive win there. Had a defensive retreat out of a 50-50, won it to himself, and then obviously the quick timeout, good timeout, probably just to have Coach Brown talk to his boys and make sure that the team has a plan coming out to kill the penalty.
Yeah, that's looks like a good play. I'd also like to say that we want to thank our sponsors, Logan Street Signs and Banners. They've been celebrating over 25 years in business. Logan Street Signs and Banners specialize in last-minute signage and banners. They serve Noblesville and Hamilton County since 1992. So if you'd like to get a hold of them, it's www.loganstreetsigns.com. That's loganstreetsigns.com. Or you can call them at 317-773-7200. So thank you for having them on board here so that we can get this game and bring this to you. Coming out of the timeouts, the score is 2-2 with 2:56 left in the first quarter. We have a tight game here. Carmel has a man advantage after the penalty and the face-off, but the face-off was won by Culver. So Culver is actually going to be short a guy in the offensive zone, and it looks like they're going to send Huntington and number 17, Otis, out there to double-team the ball. So looks like Cooper Otis, who had that takeaway earlier in the game for his hustle, along with freshman standout Jack Huntington, going to double-team the ball. And if you notice, Carmel's got a really close-knit eye on everybody else, so they're going to allow these two guys to work. As Bacher comes through, finds Stevens, and then through that scrum, Carmel comes up with the ball.
Passes were just off a little bit, just a little too low in that possession.
That's right. And Otis is coming up the field with the ball. Chad Kataka comes out to get that. He's going to try to touch up in the box, and they're going to actually start their extra man offense now. So they're going to have about 30 seconds of that extra man on. It looks like about 20 seconds left of that extra man offense. And good news is Asher Mendel has returned to the field after that hit. So
very good news.
Good news about that as Joliet works that around to Kataka and Taka back to Mendel. So they're going to move this ball on offense and see if they can find a seam to find a shot here. Into the side. Oh, off the pipe from Mendel.
Picked up
Great
by
play.
Seaver.
Good move. Seaver clearing the ball. And he's in traffic. Look at this ride. I'll tell you what, there are more white bodies around those ground balls than anybody else. They got a loose ball hold. That's going to award the ball to Culver. So Tarun here is going to run up the field and try to get that back to the offense. Another defensive midi for Culver. As we've got Leahy with the ball. He's going to try to buy some time with Huntington all over him. I'll tell you, I'm impressed with this Jack Huntington. He plays football for Carmel as well. And he's only a freshman. And he was already honorable mention All-State. So a lot of bright future for that number 33 in Carmel.
Absolutely. Anytime you're breaking into any of the awards for All-State, honorable mention as a freshman, that's definitely a head turn.
Yeah, and it's a lot tougher to even get honorable mention. The rules have been changed the last couple of years. You've got to get quite a few votes, 7 votes in order to do that. It used to be you only needed 1 from one coach, and now you need 7 points worth of votes, which is either a first team, a second team, an honorable mention vote, or a couple of first team votes, or a lot of people really like you. So, a good take there. That's going to be Gray, Jackson Gray, driving down the goal line extended.
Jackson Gray wound up in the crease, so there needed to be something called there, whether it would be a loss of possession for Culver or a penalty against Carmel.
They probably called that as a loose ball push and awarded that ball to Culver, so that'll stay. But I agree with you, that should be clearly called by the officials as Bacher comes down the middle, takes a shot, and scores.
Left-handed.
Wow, that was tough. I mean, he had Otis all over him. Cooper Otis was right up under his armpits, onto his arms, hitting him all over the place. And he was able to gain the middle of the field and was able to get that shot off and shot that low.
Really
right
using that size to his advantage.
Yeah, look at him come here. He gets look at Cooper get all over him. Otis is there, and then he was able to swim move past him and take a real hard shot. About 12 yards
about 12 yards, yeah.
12 yards. High to low shot, too. Tough for the goalie to read. But I do have to say that if there is a weakness on this Carmel, number 1 ranked Carmel team, it's it's got to be the number of shots they give up. So I think that was an example of really good placement of the shots. And Carmel creates another 50-50 ground ball coming out of the face-off. And it looks like there's collision. There's 3-4 bodies down. It's going to be a loose ball push, and they are going to award that to Culver. Frankly, I think there were about 3 pushes in there. It could have gone either way.
I agree.
So he is now changing his call and going the other direction. So, no, he's not. He said there was no release. That's what he was sending those people back in the box for. As they get that ball back to Bacher. And Bacher this time is going up against Quigley. So they get a touch into the zone, and they're not going to slow down here. Zahner is take that shot. There's going to be a penalty, and flag is down as Zahner jumps that shot. Not sure exactly what was going to be called there, Matt. Did you take a look at that?
Yeah, I was only able to see him basically get inside of his player through GLE, get the stick into his left hand, and I saw him
watching the hand
there.
signals here. It's going to be a cross check. So Carmel is going to serve a 1-minute penalty cross check, and that's going to be served by Mark Allen. As Zahner, his name is pronounced Zahner, of Henry Zahner, which is different from his grandfather. His grandfather actually, they had pronounced it Zehner because they used to own a pork producing company called Zehner's Wieners. So, but apparently, as they've matured, they've gone back to Zahner. So
a little bit of pressure there.
A little bit of pressure, but at the end of the quarter here, it is 3-2, and Carmel pressured that ball because they want to retain possession at the end of the quarter. Culver will retain possession with a man up at the end of the quarter, so there will not be a face-off. So I think that that's going to be really interesting to see what comes out of that quarter. We are going to throw this to a commercial, and we'll be right back.
Can I help you?
Yeah. I'm looking for Logan Street signs and banners.
You found us.
But this ain't Logan Street.
We moved 22 years ago.
You're telling me that Logan Street signs and banners isn't on Logan Street anymore?
Exactly.
So what are you saying?
Logan Street signs and banners conveniently not located on Logan Street, but on South 10th Street.
And welcome back. Byron Stankus here at IU Health Field at the campus of Hamilton Southeastern High School, along with Matt McEnroe, longtime coach and vice president of the Indiana High School Lacrosse Association, bringing you the second quarter here of the semifinal state matchup of the Carmel Greyhounds, #1, versus the #4 Culver Eagles. Matt, looking at the first quarter, anything jump out to you from the stats or from the play?
Well, first thing is saves. Culver's goalie, Roth, has 3 saves coming out of that first quarter, and Carmel's goalie, Holtzlander, has 1. So that's one interesting statistic. Ground balls, too, if we're not counting face-offs, ground balls in favor of Carmel right now, 4-1.
I think you can see that in the how much they're swarming to those loose balls. So we're going to start this quarter with an extra man offense for Culver. They were able to retain possession as the horn went out, which awards them a non-face-off possession. So Gray's going to have that ball in the center here, work that around. Let's see if they how much off-ball movement they can have. So guys running around trying to make the defense move. They are looking inside. Wow.
That's the second feed that Bacher's provided. Just a great look.
Was that 45 Gray with the goal? That was just a very simple move there of sliding guy off the wing to there, right into score that goal. I think that's a situation where that defense just has to collapse on him and do a better job. I'm sorry, that goal actually was Zahner, the aforementioned Zahner with the goal, sliding in off the wing and then being fed there by Gray after the pass from Bacher. So very simple move, gets us another face-off and brings Culver up 4-2. So Culver takes the lead with Vaccaro at the face-off X. Allen's done a good job tying him up. Quigley wins that ball off the face-off, and it's another ground ball. Look at Allen just running through traffic. This time
Pressure.
We're seeing relentless pressure by Culver. I think something's going to get called here. Nobody's touched the box with 20 seconds, so let's see what happens here. Oh, there goes Stevens. Stevens comes out of it with the ball, gets a touch, and Culver will start on offense again.
Matt Cannon, number 24, was really applying pressure with his stick on that ball carrier there for Culver.
Yeah, they
Lane Wood.
actually Matt Cannon's the Carmel defenseman.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, that's all right. But no, there was really quite a bit of pressure there applied by that was Polomus. Polomus, the midfielder there. So Carmel's working that ball around, trying to make that play. Oh, what a great play again. There, we're going to have Bauer attacking from the X, and then he feeds that right in there to
25.
to number 25, Stevens. So Joel Stevens with a goal, taking a really big lead. I wonder if we're going to see a timeout here. We're going to watch this replay as we watch that dodge from X here as he split dodges and then just feeds the seam inside the crease. And Stevens just finds it, catches, and shoots.
Stevens does a really good job finding a lane to cut through as well.
Yeah, it looks like the second slide on the Carmel defense is in there. They're sliding good hard on the first one, but the second one is so the second one is there. So we're looking at a 5-2 lead with 10:31 to go as the face-off here, and Vaccaro gets pushed down here with possession, and it looks like that's going to be a ball that is awarded. It's not just going to be the ball. Actually, that flag is down. I think we're going to see another penalty here. That's going to be a penalty on number 20, Mark Allen.
I think I agree with that penalty. Again, another face-off win for Culver and Vaccaro, and that's 5 right now. I think it's 5-2 unofficially is the stats at the face-off X.
And that's just punishing when you can just continue to get that. Having said that, Carmel's doing a fantastic job of getting their athletes in there to create some of those 50-50 ground balls. But when you lose those 50-50 ones and then have the clean ones lost as well, Carmel looks like they're rotating a little bit harder now defensively on their man-down situation. Cross crease pass.
Side.
Wow, what a Leahy. That was 43 Bauer coming up topside and looking across the formation and finding Leahy. That's Tyler Leahy on the goal.
You can see the weak side. You can see the weak side open up here on this replay as the ball's brought upfield from GLE up to about the 20-25 yard line, and there he is wide open.
And you're going to score. You're going to score 10 out of 10 of those. So this is a big momentum swing here. Culver with a huge push here and start this quarter. It is now 6-2 with 10:09 in the second quarter. So let's see if Carmel's got an answer. Starting here at the faceoff with Eric Allen. And we got a false start. So I guess that answers that question. So Vaccaro's going to get double teamed here by the Allen boys. And
six face-off
wins. He can do that. And he gets into the box. Does that count? I do not see the referees count that yet. And look at that. There's that relentless pressure. The Allen boys, this time it was Eric Allen coming up with the ground ball with the pressure from his brother Mark Allen, double teaming them, getting that ball on the ground. Now Mark Allen clearing. Looks like he's gets that ball across the midfield. It's a double team now by Culver. Culver's going to take that. Allen's going to continue towards the goal. He's looking to feed. Now they're still a player short, so they're trying to kill off the rest of this penalty. I'm counting players now. It looks like they're all even now. They're all even now. So that was a good hard push there. Sprates finds Knoll, and Knoll over here to Joliet. Jack Joliet. But that was a good work by the Allen brothers there to double team that ball as we're looking at a dodge here from Knoll. Knoll still looking. The flag is down again. Cross crease pass. He missed Jordan. He missed Jordan Walker right there with that pass, but they're going to be a man up. So
it looks like once Vaccaro wins that face-off, they're going to get double teamed right away. Or he's going to get double teamed right away.
Well, that's good. They're sending their athletes in to go do that. We've got a push with possession is going to be the call that I see from Jim Quirk that was down to the bench. So that's going to be a 30-second man advantage for the Carmel Greyhounds here. I think they really need one here.
They do.
So they're going to have to really work this ball around here as Joliet starts it up to Knoll.
And I think they need to take the full time in this.
Yeah, they got Sprates coming around the corner here. He's coming off the pick, takes a shot high.
Good idea to shoot. Good idea to shoot. Keep shooting.
Jack Joliet with the pick on the inside. Sprate's coming around, and they're going to reset and try another play. Going to try one real quick here because we're running low on that quarter. Here come a couple of double cuts. They're going to run the exact same play, and he's going to pass it to Jordan from behind. Jordan's going to go. Wow, look at that. That was Knoll with the shot that deflected by the defenseman. That Culver defenseman, that was fake.
Once again, the Culver defense not allowing shots on cage.
Fike. Number 32, the long stick midi for them. Feet in the middle. Oof. Feet in the middle. Sprates could not get a full clean shot on that, kind of quick stick that behind.
Carmel's still competing, though. They're still trying to find opportunities to shoot. They're getting them. They just have to feel good with that and then find a way to get that goal into the back of the net. Get that ball into the back of the net.
I think the Culver defense has sort of settled down a little bit, too. Oh, cross-crease pass. Oh, stayed right off the foot. Right off the foot of Roth. Asher Mendel had an opportunity there with a really great cross-crease pass that he received over there from Knoll, and I think that was an opportunity that might have been missed here.
Yeah.
So, got Joliet and Knoll here driving the alley. Rolls back inside, gets the shot off. Seems that they're just
good backup.
Looks like they're just missing a little bit, but they seem to be driving the alleys. They're going to dodge from X here. Let Sprates here try and draw the double team, which he does.
Good double team.
Kicks it back up to Jordan Walker.
Mayer applying the pressure there. Number 9 for Culver applying pressure there.
And then Asher Mendel against the short stick. He draws 3 guys. And looks like that Culver has actually gone back into that defense. They will pressure on ball, but they are a zone otherwise, making it very difficult for Carmel to find the seams. So they're going to have to shoot from the outside like they just did there with Eli Knoll. Carmel's taken plenty of shots. They're just not the most quality ones I've seen.
Looks like we got a timeout.
So is that timeout called by Carmel, looks like, with 7:07 remaining in the second quarter, with the score 6-2 in favor of the Eagles from up north in Culver. So I think if you're Coach Meacham over there with the Carmel Greyhounds, what are you trying to tell them?
One, I'm trying to find the positive right now, and the positive is that they're getting shots off. They're finding opportunities with their hands free for shots. That's a positive. I want my kids I would want the Carmel kids to know that they're getting themselves in good opportunities. We just need to find a way to finish.
So do you think Culver's zone defense is stymieing them, and do you think it's a function of the shot selection?
I think it's a little bit of both. We found Asher Mendel was just 3-4 feet off of the crease and threw it right into the ground, just shy of the cage. So I think a little bit of nerves, and I think a little bit of trying to identify how do we attack this zone that Culver's running.
All right, so looks like they are breaking the huddles here, and Culver is going to be setting up their defense again. I wonder if Kirk Brown has made any adjustments or if he's real happy with what they've got here. Carmel seems to be having plenty of possessions. I don't think this is a Culver-dominated possession game. It looks like it's been fairly even on the number of possessions, so that's good. And when they are, Carmel is taking these shots, they are backing them up and retaining possession, so good for them. Definitely looks like Joliet here is going to attack coming downhill. Going dodging the alley, takes a shot on the run. Backed up wide by Katak and Sprates. So looks like they're willing to give him those shots. And Sprates is attacking from behind. Good defense there by Tampos. Tampos on the defense. Now we get another dodge here with Sievers engaging in defense. Getting a double team. Jordan Walker with a shot. There you go.
High to low.
That was Joliet feeding Jordan Walker, and Jordan Walker with the low to high shot. Got his hands free, stepped in, and ripped it to the top shelf. So nice work by him, and I think we're going to take a look at this as we lock the dodge down the alley, and Jordan Walker just pops up top, steps in. He catches that with no one on him, and about 12 yards out.
12 yards out. Low to high.
Low to high. I think changing planes on that goalie was probably the key to making that happen.
And Jordan Walker basically taking a couple steps back once his defender committed to double teaming the ball, trying to find a way to get his hands free for a shot.
Yeah, so that'd be Jordan Walker's 13th goal in the season. He also has 12 assists. But the interesting part about that is he was the face-off midi, the face-off get-off guy, the Fogo fellow, for Carmel before they moved him to run some offense. So that's only about half a season's worth of stats. And another 50-50 ground ball here that Carmel has created on that, but Vaccaro still comes out of traffic with it, touches up in the box, keeps running right by Allen. Allen takes the shot past Allen. So Vaccaro get an opportunity there to get a shot. Goes wide, but the Culver Eagles will retain possession.
Their 7th face-off won so far in this game, and we're at 6:15 in the second quarter.
Well, Culver is going to touch in and get this ball worked around with Zahner and Gray working it up top. Gray dodging down the side, looking for a seam here. Kicks it back to the attack. That's going to be Bauer. Bauer finds Gray again. Just looking for those seams. Looks like Carmel has gone into a zone defense as well. Maybe to slow down the pace here of the Eagles. So Zahner's going to try his side. He'll move that to Bacher. Bacher back out to Gray. Gray's going to try again on his side. Find that seam to Bacher in the middle. Shot high.
Good little slip by Bacher there.
They set that pick. Oh, and they're going to award that to the goalie. That was the goalie was closest to the ball when it goes out, is what they declared. So it's going to be another clear by the Carmel Eagles. It's going to be Mark Allen here running it upfield, trying to run through this defense by himself. Mark Allen's a senior for Carmel here. Is going to be going on to play lacrosse at Canisius University. So good for him, and look forward to seeing him play Division I lacrosse. He's touched the box here, and Carmel's going to settle up their offense as they get their substitutions in. An interesting bit of note here also is that Carmel, who does have a big bench from a numbers standpoint, seems to be running very much the same 3 or 4 guys on offense at the midfield. Oh, and there's Kataka.
Great
feed from Sprates. What a good play. That was an excellent play, scored by Tommy Sprates with the feed from Chad Kataka. What an excellent play. That is one way to get the momentum back on your side, to have that dodge down the alley, pass it to behind, and then have that pick coming off the crease. That's a really good-looking play. We used to run a play like that when I was coaching at Noblesville. We called it bang bang, where we would drive that side and then bang it to X and bang it right back into the crease. So that was a really good play. Really like that. Looked like something I coached, so of course I'd like it. So we're now at 4:53 in this, remaining in the first half. Carmel has just scored their 4th goal, making it 6-4 Culver. And another face-off. Carmel getting their bodies in there. Vaccaro pops that out. And that's the turn.
Face-off number 8, but again, here comes a double team.
And he's just unafraid. He'll run right through it, and he's just keeps chugging, until he's finding a teammate to outlet that ball to. Carmel's Bacher's looks like he wants the ball, but looks like Fike is looking for somebody. He found Bacher finally.
Good handle by Bacher there. The ball was tipped.
Yeah, that's Otis. Cooper Otis. Bacher's just a big human being, isn't he? Look at the size of that guy. I guess that's why he's going on to Harvard to play football. Because I don't think there's too many smaller guys playing football, unless I guess you're a running back. But there's a feed to the crease. Stevens on the goal. There's a big save.
Great save from.
Big save by Holtzlander. Ben Holtzlander outlets that ball. They're going to be bringing up the field with Pratt. Pratt's finding number 11. Andy He makes that pass upfield.
Left-handed shot from about 5-6 yards out. That's a tough save to make when he has all the angle in the world. The shooter has all the angle in the world. Goalie was calm, cool, collected, took a step, made a save.
And he hasn't made a lot of saves, up to this point. He's had a lot of shots go in, so that's a big one and a momentum shifter. Outside, that shot was on the outside, flag was down. So we're going to see Jim Quirk is going to call a penalty here, but that shot hit the net, but was on the outside. So Carmel's going to have a man advantage here, as the referees are calling it to the bench. That's going to be a cross check. Nope. Yeah, it's going to be a cross check for 1 minute. That's going to be served by, I'm going to take a look and see who takes the knee there. That's going to be Tompos. So Tompos with the cross check, and another man advantage for Carmel as they start their extra man offense, whipping it around the perimeter.
So we've got Seaver in at a short stick defensive midi right now for Culver. And number 32, Fike, applying pressure, scooping up the ball. Great job getting it upfield, just over the heads of his teammates. But
he ran to space with it. Ooh, and a big pickup right there. Number 18, Callahan. Callahan still going through, got pushed down. Are they going to call that? Looks like that's going to be no play on, and Holtzlander's going to get that ball into the crease. Jordan Walker with the ball. Now, Jordan Walker's got some speed. I don't think anybody's going to keep up with him. He's an exceptional player. Was a first-team All-State D midfield last year, and this year's running some faceoffs and some offense. So he's a really good all-around player for the Greyhounds. But they're going to finish up their extra man offense here. As Tompos still serving time. They've just released that penalty, and they actually have the referee trailing the play. Did not see it.
Kataka with the goal.
So Chad Kataka scores right after the substitution was over here of the penalty. That's going to make a 5-6 game. So let's take a look at this.
Just gets a slight step on his man.
Now, this is extra man offense here too. So he
Nair
just beats his guy and comes around top side. So Nair on the defense gives top side to Kataka, and Kataka makes him pay. I was watching the substitution as Culver had released 2 guys, and the fans were up in arms about that and yelling and screaming, and then cheered for the goal on top of that. So I think they're going to be okay with the procedure penalty being wiped off and having the goal count so that they can make it a 1-goal game here with 2:26 left to go. Vaccaro on the faceoff wins it clean. Coming down the field.
This is my first opportunity to see Vaccaro, and it's really impressive the way he's just winning these faceoffs. I believe that's 8 or 9 now.
Yeah, they've got a good tradition there of good faceoff guys up there at Culver. They've been doing it for years. But he finally got the ball to Bacher, and Bacher's buying time while they get the fresh substitutions on the field. And gets it up here to Zahner. So Carmel will settle down and play defense. Culver will work their offense. Culver's going to be a little patient here, it looks like, as Gray handles it down the side. Looks like they're communicating with each other, trying to make that play with 1:45 left to go in the half. And here he comes running down here. That's Gray. Takes the shot wide. Backed up real fast. Redirect up top to Bacher. Bacher hits the post. Rebound back out here to Gray. Gray moves that across crease to Stevens. Stevens then does a little hitch, looking from the inside. Nobody's there. Back up to Culver, back to Gray. Gray turns around, takes that shot. It's another save. That's a big save. I think the adjustment on the defense is allowing more of these outside shots to be taken, so hopefully can make a save as we watch Mark Allen clear the ball again with minute 10 to go in the half. So Mark Allen seems to be having a whale of a game. He seems to be all over the field. He's the one-man clear. We've got a timeout by Jack Meacham of Carmel. So timeout with 1:03 left in the half. It's going to be possession with the Carmel Greyhounds. So Coach McEnroe, you're Culver. You want to stem the tide of this. You had a 4-goal advantage just a little bit ago. It's down to 1 goal, and you got a minute 3 left to go in the half. What are you telling your defense? Yeah, Culver's defense. What do you if you're Kirk Brown?
I'm going back to that zone.
Going back to that zone?
I'm going back to that zone to see if Carmel can find a way in a 6v6 situation to beat it. Now we haven't actually seen that. They've scored a little bit of transition when there was a substitution. That last goal came from a substituting from a extra man to a even strength defense. Kind of caught Culver off guard. I'd like to go back to that zone. From an offensive perspective, I'd love to see the ball get back into the hands of Kataka. I think he's the guy who's gonna need to get you a goal here this final minute.
Well, when you have a 2-time All-American who's going to go play D1 lacrosse at Lehigh like Chad Kataka, I happen to agree with you. I would try and find a way to get him the ball. It looks like they're going to start with him in the high crease, and Jack Joliet's going to start with the ball out on the side here as the referee, Jim Quirk, is going to whistle this into play with 1:03. I imagine they're going to work the ball around here and look for one shot. Is that what you're thinking?
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't rush to get a shot here.
And Culver's definitely in a zone for sure. So I think Coach Brown and you were thinking the same thing here. And as we get a look at this dodge through the seams, and Kataka ends up with the ground ball after
behind the back feed, and that's to the head.
That's to the head. Who was that?
That
Walker?
was the head.
Yeah, Walker went down. That's going to be number 21 Tampos again with another penalty.
We'll see in the judgment of the officials what exactly they feel they need to call here.
Well, just for you guys listening, a contact to the head, slash to the head, or unnecessary roughness to the head has the referee's discretion to call that either a 1 to 3 minute penalty, and they can make that a releasable penalty, meaning if a goal is scored, it come out of the box, or a non-releasable penalty. So they have awarded this a releasable 1 minute slash. And so Culver is going to settle in their man down defense again. Carmel is going to rotate around, look for that really good shot. Kataka and Walker working down here. Asher Mendel up top to Knoll. Knoll to Joliet to Kataka. Kataka finds seam and hits Sprates in the high seam. What an excellent feed. I think they did exactly what you were talking about. They were getting that ball in the hands of Kataka, and Kataka's going to find your shooter. And that happens to be Tommy Sprates.
Replay here. Let's take a look at it.
Yeah, you're going to see that ball goes behind the goal, and then Tommy Sprates just pops out of the crease and is all alone, about 10 yards high.
Nice hands-free shot, left-handed.
15 seconds left in the half. We have a tie game. Exactly what we were looking for in a really close game. It's 6-6, 15.1 seconds. We've got a face-off. Alex Vaccaro has a chance to either pop one out real quick, or Carmel with Eric Allen can tie him up and burn this 15 seconds. So let's see how this thing finishes off this half. The whistle goes, and it looks like a good tie-up. Athletes are in there. Vaccaro wins the ball, though.
Got to move his feet.
He's got to move. He's going to go against Allen. Coming down the seam. It looks like he's going to get a shot.
Good stick check.
Good stick check. And a flag is down. That was a stick check by Mac Cannon, number 24, to get that out of Vaccaro's stick before he got that. So we're going to have another penalty with 0 seconds on the clock. So the officials are having a huddle here to see if this is a loose ball penalty or is it something that's going to be assessed to begin the half. So we're going to hold with you a second here until we can figure this out. But it looks like both teams are heading to their respective areas to talk about it. And I think what we're going to do is we're going to take a break here since it's halftime, and we'll clear up what the officials have called at the end of the half here when we come back. So we are going to throw this to commercial, and we'll be back to start the second half. But looks like they're Indiana High School Lacrosse Association semifinal championship game. I'm Byron Stankus, along with Matt McEnroe. Matt, we've been watching this first half, and we have exactly the game we expected to see, a really close game. I think Culver was up by 4 goals at one point, at a 6-2, and Carmel late in the half there came storming back. We are tied at halftime. The Carmel Greyhounds 6 and the Culver Eagles 6. Matt, what did you see in the first half?
Definitely the face-off disparity between these two teams. Culver's dominating on the face-offs right now with Alec Vicario. Currently, face-off numbers are Culver 11, Carmel 2. Definitely providing more possession for Culver. And if we look at ground balls total for the first half, Culver had 14. Carmel had 6, right? That's including your face-offs your ground balls off the face-off. So definitely ground balls right now are in the favor of Culver, as well as the possessions. And then if we look at the shots, though, Carmel's taking advantage of the possessions that they get. They have 25 shots in that first half to Culver's 13. So Carmel's definitely taking advantage of the opportunities of possession that they have by trying to get as many shots off as they possibly can, and it's helping them out. They've already got 6 goals of the 25 shots that they've taken. So that's the numbers that we're seeing right now. Saves right now for our goalies. Culver's goalie, freshman Chris Roth, has 5 strong saves for Culver right now, and then Holtzlander for Carmel has 3. So goalies playing an important part in this game. But definitely the face-offs right now. Carmel has to come up with some way to force that 50-50 ground ball and get their athletes in there for a ground ball situation and win the ground ball.
Well, I think what's really important in those stats on ground balls, even including the face-offs, is they are getting their athletes in there quite a bit of time, but they're not actually winning those 50-50 ground balls. So not only making the 50-50 ground balls, they're going to have to win some of them. But I think so that's strong for Culver, especially winning all those ground balls. But I think on the flip side of that, I think it's you got to feel pretty good about yourself with your coach Meacham and the Carmel Greyhounds here, because you don't have as many possessions. You're not winning the ground ball war, but you are getting shots off. You are working your offense, and you have also scored 6 goals, and you're in a tie game. So in a tie game here, where one team's getting a lot of possessions, not a lot of shots, and has 6 goals, where the other team is having fewer possessions but a lot of shots, which coach do you think is feeling good about it, and which coach isn't?
Right now, I got to think Coach Brown for Culver right now is feeling good about the possessions that they're getting, and just the opportunities, the more opportunities that they're going to get going through this game, as well as that defense that they were running. That zone defense was giving Carmel fits in 6v6 even situations. So, in my opinion, right now, the coach that should feel more comfortable right now, I would say Coach Brown.
Yeah, and I think that Coach Meacham and his staff are going to have to go look at that zone defense that you were talking about, because even though Carmel is having good possession time when they do possess the ball, and they're getting a lot of shots, those shots look to me like they're missing the goal, especially when you look at 25 shots and 11 of those are on goal. So they are less than half of their shots are on goal. On the flip side of that, you've got 13 shots, and 9 of them are on goal for Culver. So when you look at those two statistics, I think that Jack Meacham's got to find a way for his team to get better chances. I think that zone defense that you were talking about is definitely putting them in a position where they're getting shots. They're just not the best places to shoot. So I think they're going to try to get inside of that zone a little bit better.
Just some individual statistics, just to give you some of the leaders in this game. We start with Culver. Culver's number 45 has 2 goals. Jackson Gray is a freshman. Actually, he's little brother to Notre Dame star Bobby Gray.
That makes some sense. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So he's got 2 goals. And as well, number 43, freshman Topher Bauer. He's an attackman, has a goal and 2 assists. And then from Carmel's perspective, their senior captain, 2-time All-American, Chad Kataka, has 3 goals and 1 assist. So definitely, as we've been talking this first half, we've been calling Chad Kataka's name quite a bit. Definitely offense has to go through him. whether it be scoring the goals or having him feed or at least generate some offense, generate a slide so that he can get the ball moving.
Well, I think when we're talking about Chad Kataka, so we want to make sure that you run your offense through a guy like that. I mean, he's captain of the team. He's two-time All-American. He's going to play Division I lacrosse at Lehigh, so that makes for quite a thing. So we're going to get started here in about 20 seconds.
Yeah, so we'd like to also thank our great sponsors today who are providing this game for us. So that's Logan Street Signs and Banners, Noblesville Trophies, and Wofford Theater, who's providing outdoor movie events.
Yeah, absolutely. At Noblesville Trophies, they definitely do a good job of getting trophies together, but they also do embroidery and in-house and that sort of stuff. And Wofford Theater is actually doing outdoor movies, so they're actually having a movie tonight out there at Forest Park in Noblesville. And tomorrow night you can come out and they're going to have Despicable Me 3 at Witten Park out there by Saxony. So we've just started the half here with possession to Carmel right away. To Culver. They've started with possession. The reason for that is we had that discussion at the end of the half. There was an unsportsmanlike, unnecessary roughness penalty. Good tip there by the defense by number 30, Luke Pratt. So to start the half, Culver got the ball, but that ball was tipped and regained here by Carmel. So Carmel's going to get going here.
Just heard that we have over 500 people viewing us. We'd like to thank everyone for watching today's game, today's IHSLA semifinal game, number 1, between number 1 Carmel and number 4 Culver.
Yeah, and the winner of this game is going to play the winner of later tonight's 8 o'clock matchup of the Hamilton Southeastern Royals and the number 2 Cathedral Irish. So that's another game that should be a bit of a barn burner as Allen here takes it to the goal, takes a shot.
Nice save.
It's a good save by Roth. That's going to get picked up here by Gray, and Gray's trying to work through that double team. I think Carmel is just being relentless again. Sprates picks up that ball, flips it back into the field.
Looked like he stepped out of bounds.
Well, the referee
was right there,
Tomazawa said no, so Culver's going to try to clear that ball. Hitchcock's a little bit under pressure, finds himself Fike. Fike then launches that ball across field. It's going to be picked off here by Pratt, who's now released from his penalty. And it's going to be a battle here with Pratt and Bauer. And then it's going to be scooped up here. Looks like Leahy. Leahy on the ground ball, retains possession. Carmel has come out with a bit of a vengeance here.
Absolutely. Pressuring every ground ball situation they can.
Playing with some intensity. And we'll see if the Culver Eagles match that intensity. The dodge here from Leahy. Split dodge. Comes across crease. Cross-handed shot. Ground ball scooped up by Allen. We had a flag down in the course of that play. That was back behind. So that is going to be, I'm looking for the referee's signal to figure out what it is. John McGrath's going to call it to the bench here. He's calling unnecessary roughness, 1 minute on Carmel. So I see a guy down there taking a knee. Matt, can you take a look at the number of the guy who's there for unnecessary roughness?
I am looking, and I will get that to you soon.
All right, but in any event, it is a 1 minute releasable penalty for the Culver Eagles. So they're going to have another opportunity here to try and take the lead as they work the ball across the top, get it back down to their attack now. Feeds it through. Number 45 with a shot. Saved by Holtzlander. Holtzlander then going to outlet that ball. That was a really good save to start that half. I think that's going to bode well, go a long way. So here we got Allen on the ball. One of the Allen boys, Mark Allen, clearing it. His dad, the assistant coach, has got to be pretty happy with the effort that the Allen boys are putting in here. Keith Allen, one of Meacham's assistants, as Mark Allen here is going to be going to Canisius.
Yeah, that previous penalty was on Jack Huntington.
Was it? Okay,
yeah.
Great. So now we can clear up that little bit of business. As Carmel is letting the clock run down here, that's why they are just holding the ball and not doing much, because they are waiting for that penalty to be released. So it looks like it's released right now. They got that ball to Jordan Walker, and we're going to settle into a 6-on-6 play here as Asher Mendel comes cross crease, shoots that. Does not look like a backup. Oh, they did call the backup. Looked to me like the Culver kid was closer to the ball, although the Carmel kid was closer to the line. But McGrath was in position to make that call, so he calls it, gives it to Sprates, and then Sprates throws it into the crease. Kataka dropped that, so
not
now
a
we
bad
got a
look.
ground ball. But Sprates then goes and picks that ball up again. I think we got a really strong effort from the Greyhounds. I think they looked at those same stats about ground balls that you and I did at halftime and felt like they got to put a better effort in.
Absolutely a renewed effort towards those ground balls.
Yeah, and it looks like it's paying off there. So now we got Walker trying to try the left side here. He's going to roll and look. Jordan Walker keeping his feet moving, gets that shot wide. It's going to be backed up by Carmel, so Carmel's going to start with that ball again. Again, here's another set where we've got the Carmel offense working, getting shots. And it looks like Culver's actually gone into a man-to-man defense. So they've got a mismatch here with Kataka behind against the short stick. And they're going to slide early and see if Kataka can find the extra guy. He does not. Fakes that ball and gets the shot off.
A little bit of a miscommunication there right now. You can see Nayer trying to talk to Sievers, trying to get themselves set.
Yep. But Carmel retained possession after that shot. Sprates comes around the corner, shoots wide. No one backing it up. Boy, that's an unfortunate mistake there made by the attack. Would not have somebody behind to pick it up. So now that we're going to see Nayer try and clear the ball up the side for Culver. Evan Nayer then gets that ball upfield. Looks like Stevens got that and touches the box. So I'm sorry, that's not Stevens. Check that. That's number 45, Gray. So Jackson Gray gets the ball into their All-American, All-Everything, going to Harvard. Michael Bacher. So Michael Bacher looks like he's going to start the offense here with Zahner. Everybody's settling down. Looks like Stevens on the run to Bacher. Bacher with the underhand shovel pass there. Looks like Bauer. Sorry, that's Gray. Check that, Gray on the side. 3, not 45. And there we are. Zahner again. Zahner trying to drive the alley. Kicks it back to X. Leahy now driving.
Good lift.
Good lift. Now we're back to Gray.
By Pratt.
And Bacher.
Strong shot.
Strong defense here played by Carmel. A little out of position there by Pratt. Gives up the feed. Oof.
Solid shot.
Boy, it looks like Pratt overextended himself, and Zahner gets the finish. Zahner with a good pass up top, and he had his hands free. I think that happened because of over-aggressive play there by Pratt. I think we're watching the replay here. We're going to see Pratt overplays number 43 Bauer, and Bauer then was able to fire that ball up top to Zahner. So Henry Zahner with the goal. A big goal to take the lead. So now we have the third quarter with 6:24. We have a goal by Culver, making it 7-6.
Zahner now has a goal and an assist.
Yeah, that's a good play. And I'll tell you, that's quite a long time to start this half for the first goal to be scored. So almost halfway through the third quarter now, 7-6. With Vaccaro, a quick win. He's coming down the field with 3 guys from Carmel following him down. So Carmel is definitely not going to give him an inch. They've touched up. They're going to get in fresh midfielders and set up their offense. Leahy was trying to wave Bacher to attack that left side there, but looks like he wasn't going for it. So Quigley's going to line up against Bacher, and looks like Mark Allen's going to try up there against Zahner. So Quigley against Bacher. Bacher's trying to feel out the defense. Gets that back down to Gray on the side. Now we're going to get back there to Topher Bauer. Topher Bauer's going to try it. Looks like they're being real patient here, trying to find the best shot, not the only shot. So there we go, Zahner again, moving that ball. Gray gets inside on the shorty. Good defense. They're going to call a warding off. So they call Jackson Gray using his free hand to push away the defender. Good defense by Mark Allen, who's having an outstanding game. I seem to be calling his name quite a bit here. And he's going to try to be the one-man clear here, try and beat all 3 attackers.
3-on-1. Looks like a timeout called for.
Yeah, that was a Carmel timeout, a possession timeout. But
smart timeout, too, with 3v1 and Mark falling over there. It's probably a smart timeout to maintain possession.
And he's got to be gassed. That kid's working his tail off. We've called his name a lot. He's usually the one-man clear. He's on the wing on the face-offs. He's playing defensive midi. He's doing a great job like he just did there to create the ward-off penalty and get the possession. Then he's got to run upfield. So Mark Allen having an exceptional game.
And because this game is early, heat's becoming a little bit of a factor too, right? It's a warmer day here in Fishers, Indiana. And, they're on that turf. You got to think it's about another 5 to 7 degrees warmer than what it is anywhere else.
And there's definitely going to be a situation where Carmel wants to preserve that time out there because, in a 7-6 game and they're not winning the faceoffs with any regularity, that they're going to want to keep that possession. So that's a really good play because, what's really important and what's at stake here is the championship game. This is a semifinal game where the winner of this game plays tomorrow night, which will be broadcast on Hamilton County TV at 8 p.m. So that will be the state championship game. Oh, it's 7 o'clock. Correction. My correction. The other semifinal game is tonight at 8. So that's where I got those numbers mixed up. So probably I'm hearing in my producer's ear that it'll be 8 o'clock somewhere in the United States. I'm not sure that's true because we're on the East Coast, but somewhere maybe over the Atlantic it'll be 8 o'clock. But that's great. Anyway, we are in the third quarter with 5:14 left to go. The Culver Eagles are up 7-6 in the semifinal game against the Carmel Greyhounds. We're going to start with possession on number 20. Mark Allen is going to start with the ball, and he's going to try to clear it against the riding attackman of the Culver Eagles here, as they're trying to get the correct personnel on the field. And Culver not only is going to have their attackman right, but they're going to have Grayson Fike right there waiting for him as he crosses midfield. And there's 32 Fike landing a check on him. And Allen just keeps running, gets a seam.
Just keeps running.
It's like Dory, keeps swimming. But he gets it into the box, settles down, and looks like Coach Meachem's allowing him to stay on the field a little bit longer than normal, too, to run a little bit of offense from time to time. But it looks like he's subbing out through the midfield now to bring on Jack Joliet as Jordan Walker has that ball, and he's going to get it to Joliet. Joliet's going to get a good run downhill here and see if he can create anything off of this.
Going up against Seaver, captain for Culver.
Oh, there's a really good play. Great look by Sprates. That dodge coming back downhill. Passes to Sprates, and then Sprates finds who? Chad Kataka. Chad Kataka in the crease. So the All-American here. So here we got that situation. Sprates running downhill, kicks that to X, and then Kataka coming off the crease and catches it high and shoots low. So
that's his second time finding space off from the crease, off of a cut off the crease. So Chad Kataka, creative. Right, creative off ball, trying to find ways to score, get the ball in a stick.
And he ties the game at 7-7 for number 7 from Carmel, Chad Kataka. So excited to have this game as close as it is. And we're going to get back to the face-off here, too. So Chad Kataka ties this game, the All-American, heading to Lehigh. And we're going to have one of the Allen boys just banging away on, and a loose ball push. That was Eric Allen, and banging away on Vaccaro. Vaccaro does a really good job of either falling down or getting pushed down. The referees say he was pushed, so that'll be Michael Bacher getting the possession here for Culver. So Culver will touch up in the box, bring in their offensive personnel, and start attacking the goal again.
That's what Carmel wants to do, though. They still want to continue to pressure Vaccaro once he gets possession of the ball. I felt like that was the right thing to do. I'm not so sure that the contact from Culver actually forced Vaccaro down, as you mentioned, but they got to keep doing that and find a way to get possession of that ball on a face-off.
Well, if it's not a fast break coming off there, it's got to be considered a win for them. So they can settle in, play defense, and get their defensive personnel on the field. What an effort. What an effort from number 45, Jackson Gray. Jackson Gray dodges at that seam right up there about 12 yards outside the goal, and he's able to split the double team and get a shot off while falling. That's an impressive individual effort. We're going to look at this replay right here. As he gets that ball and he dodges, he's going to get to the middle of the field, and just before the double team comes, he gets that underhand shot. Holtzlander just does not get there in time to make the save. That is an impressive play.
Great play
by Jackson Gray.
That's his hat trick for the night by Jackson Gray. Only a freshman.
making it 8-7 Culver. This thing goes back and forth every time we turn around. This thing's a 1 or 2 goal game again. Another battle at the faceoff X. A little scrum, a 50-50 ball that they're looking for. And this time, Eric Allen comes out with it. He gets it to Kataka, who's got some room, feeds Sprates. Sprates gets checked. Checked by number 21, Tompos. So Tompos is also having a bit of a game. Of course, unfortunately,
of the ball.
he did lose. He cradled it right out of his stick. I'm not sure what's going on here, but there's a lot of sticks flying and balls going, guys on the ground, and Culver comes out with it. Looks like they're on a break. They got a 2-on-1 at the midfield. It gets it to Bacher. Bacher starts the fast break. Fast break through. Cross crease pass to Stevens. Oh, boy, I'll tell you. Leahy fed Stevens on that diagonal pass, and Stevens just could not get it down underneath the crossbar.
Tic-tac-toe passing starting from midfield.
That's right, but Bauer backs up the shot, so no harm, no foul, and we're going to start with the Eagles going to bring on offense, bring in all their fresh bodies. I don't know how fresh they are since they're running the same 3 guys at offensive midfield. Seems to be a similar matchup to what's going on at Carmel, so I don't think there's an advantage one way or another from a depth standpoint, but I'll tell you what, looks like they've got like Quigley on there. I'm sorry, that's Otis. Otis on Bacher. So they seem to have that matchup quite up. 17 from Carmel against number 2. So Otis doing a good job containing him there and forcing him down the alleys. Culver still whips that ball around, and Bacher inside the seam and hits the post. Split that defense. And that was a, looks like I'm not sure if that was a save or whether that one hit the pipe. Looks like the rebound was the pipe, but we're going to see Leahy versus Huntington here. Huntington, the number 33 defenseman. Oh, looks like there's a pick got run over there. Huntington double teamed. They get that ball inside, cross crease. Did he make a save there, or was that a shot wide?
It looked wide.
Bauer just kind of snuck in there. I'm sorry, Gray just snuck in there and was able to shoot that ball. I didn't think he had an angle. Went out of bounds, backed up, and Culver will start again as Leahy comes running downhill. Feeds that back up to Stevens. Stevens to Bacher.
Solid ball movement.
Bacher down, takes that shot.
Good shot.
Drives to the left side, and then late turn in. Was able to get that back to his right hand, get that shot. Missed it wide, backed up.
Good ball movement, good teamwork.
Bauer backs up that shot. He's going to go against Pratt, Pratt, boom, with the...
Zahner just letting it fly.
Yeah, I think in that case that was a bit of a possession shot. I don't think that was really meant to go in the goal. I think he just fired that one wide. As Leahy's going to start at X here, he's going to go try Huntington. And he comes around the corner, gets the shot off, and that's wide. It's a race to the ball. It's going to be Bauer. Bauer's going to be closer than Hartzlander. But Hartzlander's putting in the effort there to try and gain a possession there with sprint to that ball. But Culver still wins it, so good effort on both of their parts. The Eagles are going to settle down now, work their offense again. It's going to be Gray trying it, passes it off here to Leahy. Leahy tries to gain the middle, get that shot off. Okay, there's a shot right there that deflected. After it went past the goal, it deflected off Leahy and then went out of bounds. But because it's still considered a shot, that will still be possession to the Eagles. And it looks like a bit of a zone defense where they're letting Huntington play whoever's at X. And what's happening there is, well, now we've got a mismatch with the short stick at X. It's going to be Leahy trying the shorty. Mark Allen. Mark Allen jumped over to try to take it away. Good thing the slide was there to recover. Another shot by Leahy. I'm sorry, that is Zahner.
Andy He was supplying that
slide. Andy He supplied the thing. Zahner with the shot. Zahner's been getting some chances here this game, and we're going to get another Leahy dodge, and looks like they're going to get another pick here from Gray. Huntington doing a good job. That's a deflected ball, so that is not going to be over and back. That's going to be a ground ball that's won here by Culver. So usually there's an over and back on that possession if Culver would have thrown that away, but in that case it was deflected by the defender from Carmel, so it's not an over-the-back call in there.
Carmel attackmen were expecting the over and back call. That's why they didn't actually go for that ball. They were expecting the over and back call.
So alert play by number 21, Tampos. And Carmel with a very strong defensive play there by Pratt. Pratt just overpowered Gray, took the ball away from him, gets that ball upfield. And who has possession clearing the ball again? Mark Allen. So Sprates isn't going to take any time. He's going to run right away, take that shot wide, knowing Asher Mendel's there.
It's a good idea. trying to take a shot while there's some substituting going on. Great idea.
Carmel seems to have a little bit of energy. Mark Allen just unfortunately just dropped that ball. We got a scrum here, ground ball, coming away with it. It's going to be number 32, Fike. Fike comes out at the end of the buzzer. So we just ended the third quarter. The score is 8-7. Culver Eagles on top of the Carmel Greyhounds. We will be back in just a minute after these commercials.
Can I help you?
Yeah. I'm looking for Logan Street signs and banners.
You found us.
But this ain't Logan Street.
We moved 22 years ago.
You're telling me that Logan Street signs and banners isn't on Logan Street anymore?
Exactly.
So what are you saying?
Logan Street signs and banners conveniently not located on Logan Street, but on South 10th Street.
And welcome back to IU Health Field at the campus of Hamilton Southeastern. I'm Byron Stankus, along with Matt McEnroe here at the Indiana High School Lacrosse Association semifinal matchup. Number 1, Carmel Greyhounds against the number 4, Culver Eagles. We have an 8-7 game, Culver on top. Matt, does this look like it's going to be this way all the way through? Do you see any sign of one team breaking away or another, or are we going to have, like they had in the regular season, a very close game right up to the end?
This is definitely, in my opinion, this is going to be definitely a close game all the way up to the end. We've got 12 minutes of exciting lacrosse here that we're going to be able to have the privilege to watch. If we look at some of the third quarter statistics, we've got ground balls still in favor of Culver, 4-1 in that third quarter, as well as the face-offs are 4-1. And Alec Vaccaro still dominating at the face-off X, getting extra possessions for Culver. Interesting note, though, in that third quarter, shots in favor of Culver, 7-5.
That is an interesting stat because look to me here like the pace of play kind of slowed down a little bit, and Culver was being a little bit more deliberate with their offense, and Culver was doing this. Carmel was doing the same thing. So I think we got this face-off there, but won by Vaccaro, and that's no news to anybody. But he's going to touch up the box and look for help right now. So he's running away looking for somebody, and he's going to find All-American Michael Bacher. So Michael Bacher will settle it down, going up against Quigley here, Gabe Quigley. Bacher's just going to test the defense a little bit, and Culver's going to try to. So do you think that, Matt, we're looking at this. Look to me like the third quarter, the pace of play, right at the beginning was a little bit sharp, but then sort of slowed down a little bit, and everybody seemed to be a little bit more deliberate. Do you think that's that heat you were talking about earlier?
I think it might be. I think it might also just be two teams trying to settle in. Trying to be more careful with their possessions.
I mean, we're in a situation. Oh, there was a tough piece pass into the crease. We got a loose ball. It's going to be won by. It's going to go out of bounds. The referees are going to award that back to Culver. So, is this going to be another situation where we have the top 4 teams, where each of these teams have all beaten one another, and really you could have thrown them all in a box and picked out numbers and had them going through 4, so it really wouldn't have mattered. But you know, the Carmel-Culver game, May 3rd, was a 15-17 loss by Carmel, and Culver won that game. And that was the largest spread of any of these 4 teams. So it looks like we're going to have another one that's going to go down to the wire as we get a shot here and a save by Ball.
Good save.
Yeah, Holtzlander with the save.
Of all of our semifinal Fridays that we've had through the years in the Indiana High School Lacrosse Association, this one is the most competitive of all the top 4 teams. So I honestly think you could flip a quarter and your chances would be just as well.
Yeah, I've been involved in the Indiana High School Lacrosse Association for since its inception, and I'm going to have to agree with you. This is, I think, the first time ever that we've had a Final Four where any one of the 4 teams could win the championship, and we look like we're going to go down to the wire in this one as Jordan Walker gets a good run here and tries to test the Culver defense. Literally, I mean, we're in a situation where, you know, Carmel beat the number 2 Cathedral 7-6 on a 5 seconds left on the clock, And they also beat HSE 10-12. But then they lost to Culver. Oh, it was a good shot taken there by Kataka, just missing the crossbar up top. So it didn't go either way, whereas on the flip side of that, Culver beat Carmel, but they also beat Hamilton Southeastern 8-7 on May 12th, and then an overtime loss to Cathedral. So none of these teams is separated by more than 2 goals, and, looks like we're going to get another one of those games.
Yeah, definitely going to be some great games. We're witnessing one right now. This is exciting. This is fun lacrosse to watch. Also
Ooh, good shot.
Good shot.
Good take. Jordan Walker with a little shimmy shake there. Get that shot off.
Carmel's got a record on the line right now. They've made it to 7 straight championship games leading into this semifinal game.
Yeah, it's
they certainly want to continue that streak, make it 8, and Culver's giving them every little bit, making it really difficult for them.
Another shot wide there by Jack Joliet. That's actually true. We have last 7 years we have seen a championship game that has only been Carmel or Cathedral, with 4 of those 7 wins to the Carmel Greyhounds. Well, what's new this year for the Carmel Greyhounds is not only do they have Jack Meacham as their new head coach, but they are also officially a school-sponsored sport as a varsity program. So that would go a long way for them to make it to the championship game, but they've got some work to do here, being a goal behind with 8:39 to go, as they're still trying to feel out this defense. It looks to me that Carmel seems to be testing the perimeters of this defense, and it seems to be holding. The Culver Eagle defense seems to be holding pretty well when they're in this zone. I think what works for them seems to be those set plays where they're driving the alley, kicking it to X, and then feeding the crease. As we see a shot from Sprates go high, Roth gobbles that up, outlets that ball. It's going to be Terhune by him trying to take it upfield, and he runs out of bounds. So out of bounds, runs himself out of bounds, and it's going to be Null going to start with that ball. And we're going to get a timeout. So the question to me is, I was watching on-ball play. The question is, on the far side of the field, the Culver coach called a timeout. Did he call that timeout before Terhune went out of bounds?
Yeah, and that's really the question. I didn't hear anyone screaming timeout. Difficult for us to hear from up in the booth. But yeah, that's a tough call.
And it was a strange play because Andrew Terhune basically ran himself right out of bounds. And when we were watching on ball there, it seemed like it was going to be a turnover in favor of Carmel. So a timeout is called. You can call a timeout if you are the offensive team and you have a possession of the ball, or if you have a dead ball. So it could go either way.
I'd like to take the time to thank one of our sponsors, Noblesville Trophies. Noblesville Trophies offer a large range of products, including sports trophies, corporate awards, and in-house embroidery. Noblesville Trophies provides you with same-day service for those last-minute decisions. Contact them at 317-773-7391 or check them out online at www.noblesvilletrophies.com. You can follow them on Facebook or Twitter.
Yeah, and one of these two teams is going to be winning this game and moving on to try to get some hardware here from the Indiana High School Lacrosse Association and win that game. But looks to me, based on the lineup of the Carmel attackmen coming onto the field here, that the referees did award the timeout to Culver before he went out of bounds. So Culver is going to maintain that ball, and Carmel is going to put sophomore Marcus Prine in the way here of big old Michael Bacher. And Michael Bacher looks like he's just going to tell Marcus Prine to have a seat as he runs through the field, and there's an offside there by Carmel. Yeah, Sprates was being a little aggressive there. Flag is down, so there's going to be an extra man on the field here in a moment, but Culver gets an opportunity right now to try and extend with a free possession. So let's see what they can do here as they work the ball around. Now, since the Carmel player, number 2, Tommy Sprates, was offsides, he's already offsides. So he is allowed then to come in and play defense. Yeah. So technically they're playing defense 7-on-6 without the goalie, 8 if you count the goalie.
And he's decided to lock off Bacher,
which is a pretty smart play, frankly,
Absolutely.
Which allows the other guys here to double team Gray, who then tries to find Zahner. Zanger's going to get it back to Leahy.
And this is really some good patience by Culver, too. There's really no need for them to hurry in this situation.
Correct. Well, there's the ball, hits the ground, hits the turf. The end of that free possession, the referees here are going to award the penalty. It will obviously be offsides against Sprates on that really hard ride on Bacher. So you were saying that good patience, it looks like that's what Culver has settled into.
They have a goal lead, and in that instance, they knew they had a flag down. They had possession. They could have done a lot of things there. Just unfortunate that the ball just came out of their stick.
Well, we did see Ben Holtzlander make one save here earlier in the quarter, so it looks like he's going to have to come up big here as Culver's extra man offense tries to work it around. They're going to try to find a seam here in this zone defense as they rotate guys. Feed the crease.
Oh, no one backing it up for Culver.
Wow, that's tough. Stevens found Bacher in the crease. Bacher got that shot off a little wide, but they had no one backing that up. I think that Leahy really should have had that one there, but it's going to be a clear here. And the human clear, Mark Allen. Looks like he's going to try and beat three guys here to run up the field. This guy must have amazing energy. I'm not sure what he's eating or drinking, but I want some of that. That sounds good. He touches up the box, so they're going to get an offense. Sprates is still in the penalty box, so they are still man down, so they're going to kill off the rest of that penalty. 6:14 left in the game.
There goes Mark Allen substituting.
Yes, but we got a turnover. Yep, we got a turnover. It was a pass that was knocked down by the defense, and now Fike is trying to get that ball upfield. He forces that upfield to Stevens. Stevens is now going to battle against.
Good play by Holtzlander.
Holtzlander reading that play real well. That's great. Joliet backs it off there to Kataka. Kataka finds Mendel. Mendel takes it down the side. Crowd started to stand up. I think they thought Asher was going to take that shot there, but
Marcus Prine on the opposite side of the field, substituting off, was actually asking for them to slow down there for a little bit too.
So yeah, Marcus Prine, to me, is one of. Here's a kid who's a sophomore. He's got 13 goals and 6 assists on the season, and he's not starting. He would start for anything. I think he's the best player not starting on a top 4 team. So.
Agreed.
He's an outstanding player. I remember seeing him at True as a young fellow and dominating at that level. So Kataka here forcing the defense. So Prine subbed out. They got that starting attack on with Sprates and Kataka and Mendel. Now as Knoll and Walker try to test the defense, Walker takes a bounce shot wide. They still got a back up here. So an important possession here with 4:59 to go. I think Carmel really needs to notch one here to even this thing up. Culver's done a really good job of slowing the game down. And they're going to call a moving pick. No. So Sprates looks like he moved as Asher Mendel came around. So it's going to be the call clear here. It looks like Seaver's going to start with the ball behind. Unfortunately, the balls have been shot so often this time. There's not a lot of them left on there. But so Rory Seavers here is going to be the human clear. And he's going to be running this up for trying to run through the Kataka. Well, he's going to use Roth as the outlet. And Roth doesn't mind getting that over to Nair. And Nair's going to just look around and try and find somebody as well as he sends it all the way downfield. Look at that by Holtzlander picking that off. It's a bit of an extra ride.
Culver getting the ground ball again.
But yeah, Culver got the ground ball and Fike got it. Fike got it and he got hit. There's a man down on the field. He got hit.
Got dinged up a little bit.
And he is holding his midsection. I'm going to guess the dinged up was kind of where you get dinged there. You're one of the gentlemen. So it's like he walked off holding his hand to his crotch a little bit. So I hear some laughing. I think he's going to be all right. So Culver's going to maintain possession because of the injury time out there. Bacher's going to start with it on the side. Culver is going to, I think, be very deliberate here.
Yeah,
and they sub in their fresh guys, so they've definitely got their guys going here. So I want to say a particular thank you to Steve Kenny here, the Heritage coach, who's doing a really great job of getting us stats and timely information and keep this thing rolling. It's great to have him.
Really appreciate all of his efforts today.
Oh, look at that tip ball. That one will be an over and back. And it is over and back. So, yes, that one time it was tipped by the offensive player to come back. So we're a little over and back. So we got a running start here as as they come down the field. So
looks like Justin Moore.
Justin Moore getting a little bit of time.
Justin Moore, a junior midfielder.
Yeah, Coach Tim at True as well, along with Asher Mendel and Marcus Prine and a bunch of those guys. So it's kind of cool with True Lacrosse helping these guys develop along. So good clear by him, and here comes Joliet coming down the left side, looking for a feed. He finds it to feeds it to Mendel. Mendel finds Walker. Walker back to Knoll. So we're doing that testing the defense again. They're doing a heck of a job here defensively. Culver is of giving them shots, but just not great shots. As Kataka tries the side.
Oh, that one snuck in.
What a big shot. Chad Kataka, a man on the spot right there. Number 7 versus number 7. Edel, the short stick midfielder there, playing defense on Chad Kataka. Chad Kataka has that shot and was able to shoot that low. Roth was there on the save, but unfortunately it rolled through. That's his 5th goal today. Look at him take the roll here, and then he takes this underhanded shot. And you know what? Roth was down there.
It surprised Chris Roth. I don't think he expected the shot, but he got down, and his stick was there. He just wasn't able to save it. You can tell he's sick with himself right now. If we look at him right now in the crease, he was bending down for a little bit, kind of discouraged. You know what?
We're looking at the face-off X right now, but yeah, if off screen there, you can definitely see that he's a little thing. But, Chad Kataka, All-American, 2-time All-American, there with a hard low shot it off the hip of the defender. Roth, saw it late, spun his stick, went into the goal. Even though he was there, just wasn't there on time. So that's a tying goal, 8-8 with 2:55 to go.
And a rare face-off win for Carmel.
And a double team by Culver. And we have a timeout called.
Their last timeout.
It's their last timeout. So Jack Meacham pumping his fists. Kids getting very excited. That was a big, big momentum swing. I can feel the enthusiasm from the Carmel faithful here.
Literally, I can feel it.
Yeah, they're stomping their feet, shaking the ground. With 2:50 to go in the 4th quarter in the semifinal game here at the Indiana High School Lacrosse Association, number 1, Carmel, with Chad Kataka, the All-American, scoring right off the hip of the defender from Culver Eagles to tie the game 8-8. Right, and we now have the timeout called after a rare win on the face-off possession. So good call, timeout. I think it's going to be a situation here where they're going to set up a play or two and try and figure out what they're going to do. And remember, right after this game, we're going to take a little bit of a break, and then just about 8 o'clock, we're going to be back with the semifinal game. And the other semifinal game against the Hamilton Southeastern Royals versus the Cathedral Irish. That is the number 2 versus number 3 game. But before that can happen, we've got 2:50 to go with an 8-8 score and Carmel possession. And we're going to see how this thing goes down to the wire. So Carmel possession. Looks like we got a really good game finishing up here. This can go either way. 2:50 to go. I'm literally standing. I've been on the edge of my seat all game and standing now as Carmel touches up. And
we could not have asked for a better first semifinal game. This is definitely exciting. If you are here, you are witnessing a great game.
And if you are watching it here, you are also witnessing a great game. So one way or another, thanks for being with us. This is outstanding. Carmel is just passing it around the perimeter. Not sure if they're stalling for time here and trying to work for a last shot. It's a little early to do that, but they're probably being very patient here. So what we haven't seen is a delayed stall warning. Look at Kataka goes in, gets swarmed by the Culver defense, creates a loose ball. It's a ground ball. That's going to be 21 Tompos is going to be battling for it. The spot, it's going to be out of bounds. It's going to be touched last by Culver, so that's going to be awarded here to Carmel. Carmel's going to settle back in and play some offense. They're going to work the ball around. Oh, a rare drop there by Joliet, but he'll recover it. 2 minutes left in the game. We're down to 1:55. Carmel's just going to work this around. I think they're going to try and find a matchup they like this one right here with Sprates. Woo! Tommy Sprates takes the lead 9-8 with 1:47 to go. Tommy Sprates comes off the corner, turns around, and picks the high corner. Right? Tommy Sprates gets this ball from X. He gets it off the wing, comes around, does a little bit of a hitch, and on the run with a high, hard one right past Chris Roth in the goal. That takes the lead. That's going to be a 9-8 with 1:47 to go. in the semifinal game. Number 1, Carmel, has taken the lead. We're now back to the face-off, X.
Face-off, more important than ever right now. Vaccaro has to handle this. He's been doing it all game. Let's see if...
Well, Cooper Otis on the long stick. Michael Bacher over there for on the far side. It's going to be Vaccaro popping that ball loose. The question is, can he win it? That's falls down. That's going to continue. Bacher picks up the ball for Culver. Culver maintains possession here. Bacher's got it, touches the box. Now Culver's in a situation where they've got to go, but they don't have to go that hard. They've got to look for the right shot. With 1:27 on the clock, as the clock continues to count down, it's 9-8. Culver gets in their offensive set. This is a little bit more urgency than we've normally seen from them. As 45 Gray keeps working the ball around, gets it down to Topher. Topher Bauer trying to find a guy. I'm going to guess here that you're going to try to find a timeout, okay? I think that's probably what's going to
go. You know what? Probably a good timeout. For it looked like there was a little bit of miscommunication by Culver from their offense trying to set something up. I think Coach Brown definitely wanted to have some just a little bit more organization with this really important possession.
This is a really important possession because it's 9-8. They are down. The Culver Eagles have called timeout with 1:06 left in the game. The Carmel defense has been pretty good here because there's neither team at this point has scored 10, so that's a good win for the defensive battle here that's going on. The Culver Eagles now call timeout. They're going to get their offensive set in there. If you're Coach Brown here in your offensive set, what are you looking for? Who do you want taking this shot?
Well, right now, number 45 has 3 goals. You maybe look for him off ball somehow. Start the ball with Bacher.
Correction, that's 4 goals, says Steve Kenny. So Jackson Gray with 4 goals so far today. 4
goals. So I'd look for him in a situation off ball, try and get Bacher to dodge and draw 2, and then try and find him or somehow get that ball moving.
Well, fairly quiet today. Fairly quiet today is number 25, Joel Stevens. He's been involved, but not involved to the level he normally is. He's the team's leading scorer with 48 points coming into this game. So perhaps they're going to get him worked into this thing. But Culver has started. The whistle is blown, and it's going to be Bacher with the dodge. Good hard shot wide. Bounced off his own player. Holtzlander's out of the goal.
Almost unlucky that it hit the player.
Almost, but it's still a battle for a ground ball. It's Gray battling with two guys. Looks like Stevens pops it up into the air. Now the defense of Carmel pops it up in the air. That ball is still loose, bouncing around. Ball is still on the ground. Nobody has won this battle. This is a big ground ball no matter who wins it. And it looks like Leahy picks up out of the crowd, then goes down. It's going to be a loose ball push. That ball is going to be awarded to Culver. Culver with 29.9 seconds on the clock. Culver's going to be awarded this ball. Looks like they're going to try and do something here with Michael Bacher initiating. He's going to start at the top with 28 on the clock. Moves it down here to Zahner.
And we've got Gray on the crease.
Zahner to Stevens. They like Stevens and his quickness. Maybe he can create something. They're being really unselfish with Gray down the side. Gray with a shot wide. Backed up by Bauer. Topher Bauer is going to bring this in with 14.5 seconds on the clock. This could go either way. He's going to defer to Leahy. Leahy's now going to start with it with 14.5. They're going to get him outside the box. The referee sets him there. They blow the whistle to start. It's going to be Leahy driving in from X. He comes hard around the goal. Looking for somebody. The defense has settled in really low. The Carmel defense finds anybody. Shot. Goal! Number 43, Topher Bauer. Topher Bauer with the game-tying goal with 4 seconds on the clock. This game is tied 9-9. Unbelievable play.
What a look.
Leahy right here. What a great look. He drives that case. That defense has settled in. He's looking. He's trying to feed. He finds a cross crease. And then Topher Bauer makes him pay. Huge goal.
Huge goal with
4
everything
seconds
on the line for your season. He took just a little split second to make sure that his shot was on target. Lets that rip high to high. Great shot.
Well, we thought this was going to be an exciting game. I don't know that we were going to guarantee that we were going to see overtime, but with 4 seconds on the clock and Vaccaro as good as he is, I'm not sure 4 seconds is enough time for him to make it down here. I think we're going to be waiting on overtime, and I'm excited to see it. Vaccaro comes down full speed with 1 second on the clock. That shot's released. That counts if it goes, but Holtzlander makes the save. We are at the end of regulation, folks. 9-9, the number 1 Carmel Greyhounds. 9 versus the number 4, Culver Eagles 9. So we are now going into overtime.
Yeah, so here's some fourth quarter statistics from fourth quarter. So face-offs, 2-1 in favor of Culver, and shots in favor of Carmel, 7-6.
Well, you can take all the stats, you can throw them out because it's a win and you're in. Last shot, game winner. That's what we're looking for right here. They're going to put 4 minutes on the clock into overtime, and we are going to have a 4-minute sudden death situation.
Sudden victory.
Sorry, sudden victory. Sudden victory situation. The captains are going to go out here right now. We are not going away from this thing. This is going to be really exciting. Captain Chad Kataka is out on the field talking with the triumvirate of Bacher, Leahy, and Zahner, I believe it is. Or perhaps it's Zahner and who the other captain is. But they're out there talking right now. The referees are going to give them instructions about how this is going to go. So what do you think is going to happen here to start this half?
Before we get to that, let's just thank some of our sponsors. Logan Street Signs and Banners, celebrating over 25 years. Logan Street Signs and Banners specialize in last-minute signage and banners, serving Noblesville and Hamilton County since 1992. You can contact them at 317-773-7200 and visit their new website at www.loganstreetsigns.com. You can follow them on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter.
Yes, and just so you know, they're the kinds of guys. Those are the guys that make those banners. When you come to a game, whether it's a football game or a lacrosse game or a basketball game or the championship games like this, and you come and you see those senior photos hanging up on the side, that's what they do. That's Logan Street Signs and Banners. They'll do that for you, and it doesn't have to be a sporting event. You can get a picture of your wife and hang it up in the bedroom if you'd like. Have an old banner that way, or something for your grad.
Yeah, graduation season right now. Get some graduation signage.
It's a great place to go get that there on Logan Street Signs and Banners. So give them a holler. So we are going to have 4 minutes. 4 minutes here of the half. If nobody scores, we will go into a second overtime. I think what we're going to see is the team's going to flip sides of the field, which is what the referees were having the discussion and the new coin flip with. So we can turn around and see what happens off of this face-off.
Big thank you to all those people who are watching live on Hamilton County Television. You are being treated to extra time and overtime period. Sudden victory between the number 1 Carmel Greyhounds and number 4 Culver Eagles.
Whistle on the overtime is underway. It's Vaccaro popping the ball out to himself. He wins the face-off. So now are you going to see a quick, there's a broken stick by Mark Allen. So you're going to see a quick timeout here, or they're going to go at him right away?
Really just depends. They might, if they've had a plan in place, if they knew that they were going to get possession, they probably felt confident that they might get possession. They probably already have something in place.
All right, so they can save that timeout. Each team will be awarded 1 timeout for the overtime. So we're already down to 3:30 in the overtime, which the clock ultimately doesn't matter except the break that we're going to get because the first goal wins. So Culver is now directing the field. Zahner's pointing around, trying to figure out who's going to go where. They finally decide that they're going to throw the ball into the ground, but the good thing is Gray picks it up. So they're going to maintain possession. Gray gets a good run here. So we're seeing some defense here by number 9, Justin Moore. So Justin Moore's getting some time, and we're going to finally get that timeout I thought we might have. Yeah. So I think Justin Moore got some time on there because Mark Allen broke his stick as he was riding up the field there against Vaccaro.
So this might help Carmel a little bit, make sure that they get the defenders that they want out there, but definitely is going to help Culver a bit to get some organization.
Yeah, it looked like when Bacher had that ball, they touched up and they won that face-off, that they were having some communication issues. You could see them body language with guys pointing and talking to each other, and then followed by a bad pass into the ground. Fortunately, Jackson Gray was still able to pick it up. Little brother of Bobby Gray up at Notre Dame. But so the good news is Culver maintained that possession and was able to call a timeout. So Carmel will settle down their defense, look at the personnel they want on the field. They're already taking the field coming out of the timeout. And
it looks like we have Andy He out there, as well as Cooper Otis. We do have Mark Allen out there, as well as our close defenders, Huntington, Cannon, and Pratt.
Yeah, we haven't heard a lot from Mac Cannon, number 24. He's a bit laid back, but he knows how to play in these big games. And he's got one of the great names in Mac Cannon.
Nah.
So you got to like that. So the whistle is blown with 2:57 on the clock. Culver coming out of the timeout. We're going to see what kind of offense they're looking for here. As Gray gets that ball back, it's going to be Topher. Topher turns the corner and scores!
Topher.
Wow!
Just like that, Topher
Topher
scores the game-tying goal.
Game-winning goal. Topher Bauer. Culver Eagles are going to go on to the championship game for the first time in 8 years. We are not going to see Carmel Greyhounds. We are going to see the Culver Military Academy Varsity Eagles take the field as Chris Topher Bauer scores the goal. I think he doesn't like to be called Chris Topher. He just Topher, but I don't think he's going to care right now as they're celebrating here. So with 2:42 in overtime, the Culver Eagles defeat the Carmel Greyhounds 10-9 to go on to the championship game tomorrow at 7 p.m. on Hamilton County TV. And for Matt McArew, Steve Kinney, and Hamilton County TV, I'm Byron Stankus. We will be back in a little bit, in about 30-plus minutes at 8 o'clock for the second semifinal game featuring the Hamilton Southeastern Royals and the Cathedral Irish. Thank you and have a good night.